So I'm at a big art fair in Washington Square Park in New York City, and it's Labor Day weekend, 1982, and I've spent the entire weekend doing things by myself, which in New York means there's a lot of other people around, but it's not, you're not alone, but it is lonely, and I haven't been on a single date for the entire year that I've lived in New York City. I'm a young therapist, just starting my career. I'm getting to know myself as a young professional woman, and no one has asked me. And I'm not asking anyone out because I'm poor. But that's why I'm here at something that's free and lovely, and I'm, really up for anything, really up for adventure. So in one of these art booths, I noticed these paintings of landscapes, mountain, beach scenes, watercolors. But it's the guy in the booth that I'm drawn to. He has this Luke Skywalker vibe about him, longish brown hair, scruffy beard, sky blue t-shirt, loose-fitting jeans, and he's reading Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Now that book changed my life. That book is the reason I became a therapist, and I feel like we would have something to talk about. So I'm looking at these paintings, and he looks up and he waves at them, and he says, "These are all Hawaii. Have you ever been?" And I say, "Well, once I was at a layover in Honolulu from midnight to 5 a.m., so no." And he says, "Well, it's paradise. Everyone should go." I'm Bernie, by the way. And I say, "Well, I'm Jude, and I noticed that book that you were reading, Man's Search for Meaning. That book had a massive impact on my life. And I don't know, I just wondered what you're thinking about it." And he says, "Oh, me too. It's so powerful. It makes me think about my attitudes and choices that I'm making." And we start having this great back and forth about this book and why we like it and how it's changing our thinking about things for a good almost a half an hour. And he says, "This is really fun. Would you like to continue this conversation over dinner?" And inside, my heart just goes just a little bit of like I've been waiting to hear that from someone for so long. And I say, "That would be great. I would love that." And he says, "Well, how about Thursday night at 6? And I think that's oddly specific. And I say, "Okay, great." And he says, "I'll pick you up." And I say, "I'll meet you somewhere. It's New York City." And he says, "I'll pick you up." And I'm like, "That's weird." And he goes, "I have a plan. I'll pick you up." He calls me that night, and we talk for an hour about that book and other books that we like. And he's an artist, and I'm a musician, and we talk about art and travel. And he calls me every night, and we talk for a long time, every single night. And by Wednesday night, I am so excited and looking forward to seeing him again in person. And I'm thinking, I like Bernie. Bernie has depth. And Bernie wants to take me to dinner. And he picks me up in a brown Pontiac station wagon. And we head across Midtown in New York City. And I say, we really shouldn't be in this part of town because it's rush hour and we're going to end up in the Lincoln Tunnel traffic, the commuter traffic. And he says, "No, I want to go through the Lincoln Tunnel. I got something special and planned." And I say, "In New Jersey?" And he says, Yeah. Well, I want to make one stop at the Holiday Inn Express on Route 3. It's not what you think. But there's just some people I want you to meet. I think you're really going to love it." And my heart is now doing a different kind of pitter-pat. But I'm thinking about all those great conversations that we had every night, and so I have to give him the benefit of a doubt. We get to the Holiday Inn Express, and we walk into a workshop space on the ground floor, and he walks in like a boss. He knows everybody there. There's like 50 chairs in theater-style seating, maybe half filled with people. He walks down in front. I sit down in a chair towards the front. There's a woman that looks like Monica from Friends, but she's got more of an edge about her. And there's a guy that looks like Joey from Friends, and he has a white shirt, a little more corporate, a white shirt and a blue tie, and they're aggressively handing out pamphlets and flyers and clipboards that people are filling out information on. And I look at Bernie, and he doesn't look at me. He's just chatting up everybody. There's a lot of staff all around. And then he puts his hand on my shoulder to kind of make me sit in the chair. And then the lights go out, the doors close, and I feel suddenly very disoriented because I can't see anything. I don't know what's going on. I look toward the exit. There's all these people standing in front of that door, and there's a room across from me. And suddenly, Monica and Joey go to the podium, and Monica says, "Do you ever wonder why your life just isn't working?" And then Joey says, "Don't you ever long to have more meaning and purpose in your life?" And now I'm thinking, oh my God, I know where I am. I have entered the third circle of self-help hell. I know what this is. I've heard about this. This turns out to be a 45-minute high-pressure, hardcore recruitment workshop for a Transform Your Life seminar in Maui in November for $3,500. And when the lights go up, I'm looking around and Bernie's not there. So I'm mad still trying to find the door. And somehow Monica and Joey get to the door before me and they're like, "Where are you going? Did you ever even read the pamphlets? Don't you want to transform your life?" And I just kind of crowbar my way past the two of them because I've got to find Bernie. And he's sitting at the bar, nursing a whiskey. And as I approach him, I think, he no longer looks like Luke Skywalker. He now looks like a guy who rents out somebody's basement and drives his mom's brown Pontiac station wagon. And I go up to him and I say, "Wow, was all those conversations, those were all just to get me to come to this thing?" And he doesn't look up at me. And I say, "Well, what would you get out of it if I did say I would sign up for this thing?" And he says, 20%. And I'm thinking, I hate Bernie. Bernie's a fraud, and Bernie's definitely not taking me to dinner. And I turn and I awkwardly walk down this Holiday Inn Express lobby, and "Do You Want to Know the Way to San Jose" is playing over the sound. I'll never forget that music. And I just awkwardly go to the front of and I get the commuter bus back to the city. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm up for adventure. I gotta figure, I did not see this coming, so I really bought it. I really thought we liked each other, so I'm gonna have to do a lot of thinking about that. But one thing I do know is, the next time somebody says to me, "I have a plan," I'm gonna ask them to be a lot more specific.